In the heart of Kentucky, a legend was born. Her name is Zenyatta. Bred from racing royalty, her lineage promised greatness, but no one could have imagined the heights she would reach or the hearts she would touch. This is the story of Zenyatta, the queen of the track. Zenyatta was foaled on April 1st, 2004, at a farm known for producing champions. From the moment she stood on wobbly legs, there was something special about her. She was larger than most fillies, standing nearly 17.2 hands tall. Her sleek dark bay coat shimmered in the sunlight, and her powerful long legs hinted at the speed that would soon captivate the world. Named after the album Zenyatta Mondata by the Police, she was a playful, curious, and intelligent horse. But beyond her physical attributes, it was her presence, her regal, almost mystical aura that set her apart. Her training began under the careful eye of John Sheriffs, a patient and methodical trainer known for bringing out the best in his horses. Zenyatta's early days in training were not without challenges. Initially, she battled a few health issues that delayed her debut, but the team knew that patience would be key with this special filly. In November 2007, the world finally saw what Zenyatta could do on the track. Her first race, a maiden special weight at Hollywood Park, was met with anticipation and curiosity. Could this tall, powerful filly live up to the promise seen in her bloodlines?
That's right, Ken. I'm here with Jerry Moss. He owns the 9-horse Zenyatta today. She looks beautiful out here in the paddock. She's a daughter of Street Cry, half-sister to Balance. What are you expecting today?
We just hope for a good run, it's a first start, as you know, and she's been training really well, and John's been very careful with her because we all love her so much, and we're just hoping she makes a good try and does well.
Good luck today, Zenyatta, making her first start for owner Jerry Moss.
Say hi, Katie.
I think Zenyatta, regardless of her performance today, is one to watch in the future.
I think you're right about that.
As the gates flew open, Zenyatta lingered at the back, biding her time, a strategy that would soon become her trademark.
Break Best, Elusive Melody, and Rupert's Promise. Felicity's at the rail. Caramel Coffee and Intensify are next. Then My Delilah and Morgan Lane. South African Baby and Mirror Pond are next, and the trailer is Zenyatta. Felicity is fastest up the backstretch and leads French Forest 3/4 of a length. It's a half-length to Hilo Gold in the red at the rail, 3rd and 2 from the front. Then comes Rupert's Promise for Bejarano. Intensify is moving through at the rail, and Intensify is now within 2 of the lead. Meanwhile, Caramel Coffee is 4 wide leaving the backstretch, only 2 from the front. Elusive Melody has 3.5 to make up. South African Baby is 5 off the lead and a length in front of Mirror Pond. Zenyatta and My Delilah have 9 to come. And now Morgan Lane is at the back of the pack and had to check, and French Forest takes over the lead.
But then, as if a switch had flipped, she unleashed a powerful stride, passing horse after horse. It was a moment that foreshadowed the greatness to come.
Melody and Zenyatta is closing nicely in the middle of the track. Caramel Coffee has the lead, but you better take a look at Zenyatta to run by and do it nicely. Caramel Coffee left in second. Zenyatta.
I don't know which was more enjoyable, watching Zenyatta make the move in the stretch or watching the smile from ear to ear on the face of John Sheriffs when he saw this 3-year-old filly in the clear and mowing him down.
This was pretty awesome. I mean, look at how far back she is at this point. I mean, what does she have? 1, 2, 3, 7 in front of her at the 8th pole, Frank.
Yeah, she didn't break well, and the question was, well, maybe she needs one, but there was a lot of talk about her. Morning Line Maker was all over this, and she is a filly with a very serious future.
Zenyatta's rise to stardom was meteoric. She won her next start,
Advances Diane, and now Zenyatta's lengthening her stride, and Zenyatta closing big grounds on the outside now, and Zenyatta just an amazing coverage of ground. She just covers so much ground with those bounding strides, and Zenyatta wins.
Then another.
Moves up, and here comes Zenyatta under a full head of steam on the extreme outside. 4 of them across the track, and it is Zenyatta to the outside with brownie points. Ginger Punch can't keep up. It's Zenyatta and brownie points as they drive for the wire, but Zenyatta under Mike Smith is going to pull away, and Zenyatta goes to 4 in a row with a flawless performance, winning the Apple Blossom by 4.
And another.
We took her the Apple Blossom, and it was her first time traveling anywhere, and so we really, you know, we had hopes, but we really didn't know what to expect. And she just ran so well over in Elkhorn. It was just great. I mean, when people saw her, they just couldn't believe that, is this the horse you brought from California? Is that the filly that's never been beat? I mean, they were stunned when they saw her, as most people are. Just to watch her just to take off like that and beat Ginger Punch, who was champion at that time. That performance that afternoon really separated her.
Each race followed a similar pattern: a slow start, a patient run, and then an explosive finish that left spectators in awe. She was a closer, a horse who seemed to relish the challenge of passing every other competitor in the final stretch. As her winning streak grew, so did her fan base. People from all walks of life came to see Zenyatta race, drawn not just by her dominance on the track, but by her charisma off it. She would dance before races, a playful, prancing movement that endeared her even more to the fans. Zenyatta was becoming more than just a racehorse. She was a phenomenon.
Zenyatta, you know she's going to have rhythm. Her owner discovered the police. Look at her mane, the way it flows. Look at that sensual swish of the tail. Beautiful hoof work throughout. Great horse. You know what's happening here. She's trying to attract those male horses, the same as we see on the dance show. Those girls come out shaking it and baking it, and those boys come at them. Zenyatta, you make those other horses look as though they've got 4 left hooves. Your mark from Len? Got to be a 10.
In 2008, Zenyatta entered the Breeders' Cup Ladies Classic, the pinnacle of her division. The pressure was immense, the competition fierce. But for Zenyatta, this was just another race, another opportunity to show the world what she could do.
About her all day, but perhaps the operative word when it comes to Zenyatta is one of the simplest: big. She's an enormous horse at 17 hands, runs with an enormous gait, but the biggest part of Zenyatta's life right now is her opportunity and her chance in the Ladies Classic to stamp herself among the legends. Victory is sweet, but sweeter with a comeback. Even a horse named Secretariat, before running away with the Triple Crown, came from the back of the pack to win the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness.
Secretariat on the outside to take the lead. He's coming to the wire. He wins it by 2.5, almost 3.
But no horse running today defines the comeback win more than Zenyatta. The 4-year-old filly has been in last place in every race she's ever run.
Her first race, she sort of didn't break with the rest of the horses. She stood there for a second.
They're up. Zenyatta broke very slowly.
Every time Zenyatta breaks from the gate, she seems to just kind of hesitate and let everybody go.
And the bad start has Zenyatta at the back of the pack.
It took her a long time to feel comfortable coming out of the gate just because of her size and not wanting to rush the sides of the gate. So she's always a little slow into the race.
Then the trailer is Zenyatta.
A slow start is old hat to the Zenyatta team. In 2005, their 50-to-1 shot, Giacomo, came from way back to win the Kentucky Derby.
It's a 3-horse photo finish, and on the wire, it's Giacomo!
Giacomo and Zenyatta have something else in common.
We've had great success naming horses after musical entities.
Jerry Moss the M in A&M Records, co-founded the label that released all 5 of the studio albums by the band The Police. Giacomo was named after lead singer Sting's youngest son. And now, Zenyatta, named for the 1980 Police album, Zenyatta Mondata.
Zenyatta Mondata, which means absolutely nothing, it just sounds pretty good, was the name of their 3rd album.
Today, the Thoroughbred, named for the LP that went to #1 in the UK, #5 in the US, is topping the charts. 8 races, 8 wins, all comebacks.
And Zenyatta is making a mockery of this field.
Zenyatta just making it look all too easy. This is simply poetry in motion.
She kind of runs her own kind of race, and then she just runs by. And then, you know, she's in the winner's circle.
How do you describe perfection? Why try? Let's just watch her run. This is Zenyatta.
Well done, Tom. And there is Mike Smith and Zenyatta under 5 minutes to go for the test of perfection. Will she do it? Find out when we return to the Breeders' Cup World Championships. The doorstep of perfection for Zenyatta. Here's Trevor Denman.
And the long shot there now coming up, goes straight in, the gates closed, all set. And away they go in the Ladies Classic, and as expected, Zenyatta not fast out the gate. She broke smoothly, but she broke slow, and Zenyatta is last early. There now, as expected, sprinters away to lead them early. Santa Teresita gets up to race in 2nd. Hysterical Lady right there 3rd. Ginger Punch getting a good spot in 4th with Carriage Trail on the inside of her. Then we come back to Music Note, who's taken back 3rd last today, gives those leaders 6-lane start. In behind that comes Cocoa Beach, and Zenyatta is last early. Let's see, Zenyatta's 9 lengths off this leader. They run past the 3/4 pole and the long shot out here. They're now going to try to slow them down up front. Ryder's taken a strong hold, leads it by a length, but Santa Teresita's now coming to put the pressure back on her. Hysterical Lady is right there 3rd. Down at the rail is Carriage Trail in the white cap, and Ginger Punch is now 5 off that leader. Just behind that, Cocoa Beach and Music Note. And let's see, Zenyatta still last. Mike Smith just biding his time at the back here. Zenyatta is now 10 lengths off the leader. They have less than a half mile to go now, and Bear now looking for this huge upset, kicks on for home. Santa Teresita's 2nd, Hysterical Lady 3rd, then Ginger Punch, Carriage Trail. Music Note, Cocoa. Mike Smith shaking the reins at her, and Zenyatta is start move now. Here comes Zenyatta. She's caught about 5 wide, but she's coming gamely. Hysterical Lady gets the lead to Santa Teresita. Grandstand side, Zenyatta. She knows she's in a race today, but just look at her. Zenyatta around the outside now strikes the front, and it's Zenyatta coming away. Music Note running on gamely. Cocoa Beach down at the rail. Zenyatta's going to come home to score. Undoubtedly now, a living legend. Zenyatta 9 for 9, wins it again. Super impressive to Cocoa Beach. Music Note was 3rd, and Carriage Trail 24th.
A living legend in living color in SoCal. The local gal does it. Zenyatta finishes up a perfect season with a world championship. The Patriots couldn't do it this year. Big Brown couldn't do it in the Triple Crown, but she did it. The fabulous 4-year-old filly.
Once again, she waited at the back, watching, waiting for her moment. And then, with the crowd on its feet, she surged forward, powering past her rivals with ease. Zenyatta won the Ladies' Classic, cementing her status as the best female racehorse in the world. The following year, in 2009, Zenyatta faced her greatest challenge yet, the Breeders' Cup Classic. This time she would compete not just against the best fillies, but against the top male horses as well. Many doubted whether she could maintain her winning streak against such formidable competition.
25 times since its inception in 1984, but no renewal of this climactic event has so stoked the competitive fires of this sport like today's. For here this afternoon, the unbeaten Zenyatta will put her streak on the line against a field of robust males in a contest never won by a female. Facing a band led by America's Summer Bird and Gio Ponti. Zenyatta has never run a mile and a quarter, and she has spent her whole career whipping on other females. Zenyatta! Which has raised two questions that trail her like a cape. How really good is she? And how would she fare when she met a large herd of young studs and geldings? Today she'll feel more pressure than she ever has, with some of the world's fastest and strongest males asking her what she's got. And in the end, as they wheel into Heartbreak Alley off the final bend, she will finally reveal just how good she is.
Fields sent on their way in the Breeders' Cup Classic to the roar of the Santa Anita crowd. Regal Ransom bounced away quickly. Zenyatta is dead last. Zenyatta's dead last early. It's Regal Ransom going on. Gio Ponti, Einstein is right there. Colonel John in the white colours. Summerbird has the red cap in the vanguard too. Rip Van Winkle is on the outside and Twice Over racing right behind them. They tightly grouped and not in a big hurry out on the lead. Then it's Awesome Gem. Gio Ponti's back fourth last. Been followed then by Richard's Kid. Then comes Mind That Bird and Zenyatta is dead last. Zenyatta last, got to be giving them about 10, 11 length start. They grow to the three-quarter pole now in the Classic, and it's Regal Ransom just setting a sensible pace, not in a big hurry out here. Rip Van Winkle now goes up second, and Colonel John scrapes the paint in third. Einstein's right there too. Girolamo, white cap far side. Here's Kent DeSormo and Summerbird. They six at the rail, just 5 off the leader. Then it comes Twice Over, Awesome Gem, and Gio Ponti's giving them 7 length start. Then it's Richard's Kid. Now here's Zenyatta. Zenyatta is still a good 10, 11 off the leaders. And then it's 4 back to Mind That Bird. A half mile to go now in the Classic, and still the leader is Regal Ransom, a length and a half. Rip Van Winkle being sent along after him. Then Colonel John. On the far side, Girolamo. Einstein is right there. Summerbird at the rail. Twice Over is next. Then Awesome Gem. Gio Ponti's behind that. Then Richard's Kid. And now here's Zenyatta. And let's see. Zenyatta has a lot of ground to make up. Zenyatta, if she wins this, she'll be a super horse. She's starting to pick them off, though. Zenyatta going to hook to the outside. Meanwhile, it's Colonel John. Summerbird in the red cap. And Zenyatta's come to the outside. Zenyatta coming flying on the grandstand side. Gio Ponti on the inside. Summerbird is right there. This is unbelievable. Zenyatta, what a performance. One we'll never forget. Looked impossible, but it is Zenyatta, still unbeaten under Mike Smith. Gio Ponti second, Summerbird, and then Richard's Kid. What a dramatic performance. One of the most sensational ever.
Zenyatta was no ordinary horse. As the gates opened, she once again took her place at the back of the pack. The race was fast, the competition fierce, but Zenyatta, with her characteristic patience, began her charge in the final turn. In one of the most unforgettable moments in racing history, Zenyatta passed them all, becoming the first female horse to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. It was a victory for the ages, one that would secure her place in the annals of horse racing history.
When I stepped onto the racetrack and the crowd was cheering and applauding her and crying, it was just a magical moment for me. Threw my cap into the crowd because, at that particular moment, I was probably ready to burst.
Everything that's good about the sport crossed that finish line at that moment.
We needed something spectacular, something way over the top, something that we've never seen. And she was all of that and more.
I don't know if, winning 14 races in a row it's hard to imagine that. It's hard to really look back and fathom how she pulled that off.
Perfection. She couldn't be any better, She's done everything we've asked her to do.
Zenyatta means to me the most unbelievable thing that's ever happened to me in my life, most unbelievable horse.
She is glorious. She has wings. It was like one of those great enchanted moments in life. Well, she's a gift. She's an enormous gift.
I honestly believe she could beat anybody. I really do. I think she's unbeatable. That's what she means to me.
Zenyatta's final race came in 2010 at the Breeders' Cup Classic once again. This time she was not just the queen of the track, she was a living legend. Her record stood at 19 wins from 19 starts, a feat that had never been accomplished before at this level.
Classic. There's the roar from the Churchill Downs crowd as the field is sent on their way, and Zenyatta is dead last. Zenyatta was slow into stride. She's got to be 5-6 lengths last as Zenyatta. They come past the stands first time round now, and First Dude is going on to lead Espoir City. Quality Road is right there on the inside, and Hainesfield a close-up fifth. On the outside of that comes Etched. Here's looking at Lucky racing in the 6 spot, 7 off the leaders. The pace very solid early. Blame is taken back towards the rear. On the outside of that, we have Peasant Prince. In behind those two now, we drop back to Patio Prado, who's down at the rail. In tight was Fly Down. Musket Man is there. And Zenyatta is dead last. Mike Smith's asking her to pick it up a little, actually. Mike Smith doesn't want to be too far back. He's asking Zenyatta to pick it up. At this stage, Zenyatta's got to be a good 18, 20 lengths off the leader. They go down the backstretch now in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and First Dude is the leader. Quality Road is ridden along at the rail. Hainesfield right there third. Espoir City is fourth, and those four fly. It's a big gap of 7 back to Etched. Looking at Lucky is 10 lengths off the leaders. Blame down at the rail. In behind Blame now we have Musket Man, who's still far back with Patio Prado. In behind that we have Fly Down, and Zenyatta is dead last. Zenyatta is last. Mike Smith trying to find somewhere to run. They bunching up at the top of the lane now, though. Hainesfield, Espoir City's running a huge one as well. Looking at Lucky. Here comes looking at Lucky. Etched is in there. Zenyatta now hooking to the grandstand side, and Zenyatta is now coming with her run. Looking at Lucky. Blame. Blame on the inside. Blame gets the lead. Zenyatta on the outside looking at Lucky. Blame. Zenyatta. Zenyatta. Zenyatta is flying. Blame trying to hold on. Blame. And Zenyatta. Blame has won it ahead. Zenyatta ran her heart out but had to settle for second. Fly Down was third, and looking at Lucky finished fourth. Well, there we have it. Ahead will separate a historic race from Zenyatta. Tremendous run, far, far back early. Had to wind her way through. Blame got the perfect trip, though, and Garrett Gomez scores ahead on Blame. Zenyatta second.
And Mike Smith, rider of Zenyatta, came up just barely short in second. Mike, take us through the trip, if you would.
Wasn't very good at all in the beginning. I got away just a little slow and got squeezed out of there, and was just having a rough time of it going underneath the white wire the first time. She just wasn't leveling out like I wanted to. It was a combination of the dirt, of course, hitting in her face. There was a lot of it, and she just wasn't used to that part. Just left her too much to do. You know, I truly believe I was on the best horse today, and you know, if I had to blame anyone, it'd be me.
Mike, your face is a window into your emotions. You're obviously very disappointed, but is part of you proud of how gamely she raced and how she nearly caught Blame and in fact just past the wire?
Yeah, I mean, oh, without a doubt, she's my everything. You know, she's just amazing, and I just wish I would have been in the race a little earlier, because I think the outcome would have certainly been different.
But as with all great stories, there comes a moment of heartbreak. Zenyatta started as she always did, at the back, waiting, watching. She made her move in the final stretch, her powerful strides eating up the ground. But on this day, by the narrowest of margins, she finished second. Yet even in defeat, Zenyatta's legacy was untarnished. The grace with which she accepted her loss, the courage she displayed on the track, these were the qualities that made her not just a champion, but an icon. Zenyatta retired from racing after that final, unforgettable race, but her story was far from over. She returned to the peaceful pastures of Kentucky, where she would become a broodmare, passing on her exceptional genes to the next generation. Zenyatta's story is one of triumph, resilience, and grace. She captivated the racing world, not just with her stunning performances, but with the joy and spirit she brought to the sport. She reminded us all of the beauty of competition and the bond between horse and human. As the years go by, Zenyatta's legend will only grow. She was, and always will be, the queen of the track, a horse whose legacy will endure long after the final race has been run.
Just look at her go. Zenyatta strikes the front, just playing with him here. Ears going back and forth. And it's Zenyatta, lethal heat running on at the rail. But Zenyatta with condescending ease. And now here's Zenyatta, and let's see. Zenyatta has a lot of ground to make up. Zenyatta, if she wins this, she'll be a super horse. She's starting to pick them off, though. Zenyatta going to hook to the outside. Meanwhile, it's Colonel John Summerbird in the red cap. And Zenyatta's come to the outside. Zenyatta coming flying on the grandstand side. Gio Ponti on the inside. Summerbird is right there. This is unbelievable. Zenyatta, what a performance, one we'll never forget. Now she's pricking her ears, looking for somewhere to run. Where is Zenyatta gonna go? She's got nowhere to go. She's gonna sneak down onto the rail now. They come to home, dance to my tune. Zenyatta now just looking at her though. Zenyatta is playing with them. Yet another unbelievable win. If you don't have goosebumps right now, you don't like horse racing.
And Zenyatta flies to the lead in the middle of the track and takes command. To the inside, Be Fair is still there second with 10 Tap Tam. But it is Zenyatta leading away. Tap Tam is second, Be Fair running third. They're coming home under a hand ride. It is Mike Smith and Zenyatta in a triumphant return to Oakland. She wins the Apple Blossom Invitational by 3.5. Tap Tam second, Be Fair third.
And Zenyatta is only 2 lengths behind, and she is after St. Trinian's, who comes calling for the lead. Zardana just in front. St. Trinian's has now taken the lead. She's a length and a half in front of Zenyatta, coming to the 16th pole. St. Trinian's all out. Zenyatta trying to run her down on the money. St. Trinian's still a neck in front. Here's Zenyatta. Yes!
Homeward bound in the Clementel Hirsch. Mike Smith says, let's put on another exhibition. Zenyatta is still cocked. She's in front. A huge run from Interval along the inside. Zenyatta now fully stretched. Interval there, but Zenyatta will keep her unbeaten record.
This has been the story of Zenyatta, a champion, an icon, and a true queen of the track.